Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, then welcome. My name is Kristina, and on my channel, we talk all things beauty from my own experiences. So if you're looking for the best and most honest how-tos and reviews from a consumer's perspective, then make sure you subscribe to my channel, like this video, and leave any comments that you have for me down below. We're going to be talking all about the brand Florasis. Now, this video is sponsored by them, so I'm going to be sharing with you guys all of the products that they sent over, and specifically, we're going to be talking about their new limited edition gift box. So I'm going to be sharing all the information on all those products as well as doing full demos. And then at the very end, I'm going to share my final thoughts on my first impressions. So talking a little bit about Florasis as a brand. So they originate in China, and their vision is to bring Eastern makeup to the Western world with aesthetic and natural makeup. So they use a lot of flowers, hence the word flora in Florasis. And they use a lot of natural ingredients as well, so it's supposed to be very nourishing and very nice on the skin. And they have innovative makeup products, which you guys will see a little bit more about in a second. I think something that sets them apart from other brands that I've experienced before is the fact that everything that they do is very intentional. Everything has a reason, and everything design-wise is symbolic. So I'm going to be sharing with you guys a little bit of those tidbits because I personally thought that those were really interesting. I've seen Florasis floating around here and there for a couple of years now, and every time I see it, I just think of how beautiful the products look. I'm sure you guys have seen them as well, and you've been entranced by the packaging and the engravings. So let's just dive into everything. So to start off, I want to show you guys the gift box that I'm talking about in this video. This is the Eastern Auspicious Beasts limited gift box, and when I tell you this is the most beautiful gift box I've ever seen. First of all, it's magnetic right here, and you open it up and it pops out the art right there, and then there's a little door flap, if I can get it, and all of your products are right here. So this gift box comes with 4 different pieces. We have here the upgraded Floral Engraving Phoenix Makeup Palette, and I have the gold brown version. We have the Blooming Rouge Love Lock Lipstick, the M1311. I've got the Eastern Beasts Sculpting Makeup Palette. And then finally, I have the Fairy Beach Blossom Ultra Light Setting Powder. I want to start off with the eyes today, so I'm going to go in with this amazing eyeshadow palette. And as you can see, it is probably one of the most beautiful eyeshadow palettes I've ever seen in my life. The packaging is so beautiful. I love the color combinations. And then when you open it up, you see this beautiful, rich color story that is just so inspiring. And not to mention the very distractingly beautiful engravings on the eyeshadows themselves. This is supposed to be representative of hundreds of birds paying homage to the phoenix for saving them during a hard winter. And the shape of the palette is actually inspired by the Chinese traditional folding screens, and the engravings are just super amazing craftsmanship. I can't get over how absolutely detailed this is. I think it's gorgeous. These shadows feel really, really smooth, very buttery, and look at that pigmentation. Ooh, that's gonna be such a pretty crease color right there. I love that there's a variation of shades here as well. Like, look at that red. As an eyeshadow, are you kidding? That's so pretty. Even the mattes look really buttery and has good pigmentation as well. Ooh, that's gonna be really pretty on. I don't know if you can even see it. It almost just looks like a nice sheen on my skin tone. I really want to swatch this blue shade right here. Oh my gosh, look at that. Let's do right here. That's pretty. Oh my gosh. And then you have like this nice gold right here. I know that this is super messy, but I'll do like full on arm swatches for you guys so you can see them. I'm just kind of playing around and trying to see what I want to create with this eyeshadow. I'm just gonna kind of go with the flow. I don't really have any plan. Also, the name of each shade is on the back of here, so I'll be referencing those in case that's helpful for you guys. I love how this packaging almost looks like it's popping out at you, like it's 3D. You can see the shimmer. It like shifts to purple and blue if you hold it in certain light, and then all of these feathers moving around, they almost look like peacock feathers or phoenix feathers. it looks like it's popping out of the palette, which I think is a really cool detail. We have Peacock, which is a dark cyan shimmer. Black Canary, which is a gold shimmer. We have Warbler, which is a creamy beige matte. Next, we have Thrush, which is a champagne shimmer. Right in the middle, of course, we have Phoenix, which is a bright red glitter. And then next to that, we have Egret, which is a moonlight white shimmer. And then Swan, which is a dark brown matte. Next to that, we have Finch, which is a rose shimmer. And finally, we have Swallow, which is a brown matte. So I'm going to start off with the shade Swan, which is that dark brown matte, and I'm going to put it in my crease. And you have to kind of go in sideways versus going straight up and down on here because they are thinner pieces of eyeshadow. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start blending this into my crease. And I kind of just want a wash of color with this so I can start blending those shimmers on top of it. Ooh, that's really good pigmentation though. I love these kind of transitional brown shades on myself because I feel like it gives me the illusion that I have a more pronounced crease than I do. And then it also just adds as a transition for lighter shades. Like it almost looks more natural for them to blend. So far, this is blending really nice and evenly. It feels really soft on the eyes too. So talking a little bit more about this actual eyeshadow palette. So it is talc free and they actually use natural ingredients from traditional Chinese medicine, such as peony extracts and calendula extracts, which are both flowers. So next, I think I'm going to take the shade Finch and put this all over the eyelid. And I'm just going to do this wash of color here because I want to be able to layer the other shades on top of this. And then I also feel like this shimmer is blending just as well as that first matte shade. That's packing on really nicely and I'm not seeing a lot of fallout either, which is really good. Also, you're supposed to be able to use all of these eyeshadows wet as well as dry, so we're gonna do that. I'm gonna use one of these to top all of this off. But first I'm gonna take this darker brown in the shade Swallow and I'm gonna put this on the outer corner of both eyes because I want to give it a little bit more depth. Tap some off because I feel like I got a lot of pigment there. And then I'm just gonna tap this in and bring it into that berry shade. And I'm using this brush from Florasis as well to just kind of get that darker brown into the outer corner. Now I'm taking this really shimmery shade Egret and I'm gonna use this brush to kind of put this into the first third of my eyes and give it a little bit of shimmer. There you go. Ooh, okay. There you go. Look at the difference in this one versus this. This looks a little flatter, so I just thought that adding that lighter shade would really give it dimension. I'm going to be using that same shade Egret, and I'm getting some on my brush, and I'm going to go ahead and spray it, and then I'm going to apply this on the eyes. Look at how wet and metallic this one looks versus this. So pretty. And to help these two shades blend in more together, I'm going to take this shimmery shade Thrush and I'm just going to take it between those two just to add sort of like a transition almost. Adding a little bit more of that Finch shade. I think I want to add some water to this shade as well. Ooh, yeah, I like that pigmentation. Stop, look how pretty that is. I want to blend a little bit more, so I'm adding more of that first shade just to blend all of them together at the top. All right, so I'm obsessed with this eyeshadow look. Definitely out of my comfort zone, but I'm with it. I like it. So let me curl the lashes, put some mascara on, and then we'll move on to the rest of the face. Okay, we're back. So I did my complexion. I went ahead and put some foundation concealer on. And now I want to go in with the setting powder as well as the face palette. So to set the face, I am going to be using the setting powder that's in the box. This is the Fairy Peach Blossom Ultra Light Setting Powder. And this is the Porch Window edition. So essentially that means that this compact right here in design is supposed to resemble a traditional Chinese porch window. You would assume that you would just pull this up like a regular compact, right? But you actually twist this like that, and then you pull it up and then it reveals the mirror and the powder puff. And then underneath the powder puff, you have this little door that separates the powder and the puff from each other. So it keeps it really nice and clean. I believe I have the shade number 3 Mist, which is a translucent powder that's supposed to be good for all skin types. And this is also supposed to be really good for oily skin. And as you guys know, I have combo skin, so I do get oily in my T-zone throughout the day. So I'll keep you updated on how this wears as the day goes on. And this is actually their best-selling product, this face powder. So I'm excited to see how this does on my skin. So I want to do a light dusting with this Florasis brush before I go in with the powder puff to really press it in. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this side of my face first so we can kind of compare it. Get some powder on there, tap a little bit of the excess off, and then I'm gonna go ahead and set the entire face. Oh, and that mattified it instantly. Get a little bit more. And then I'm going to take the powder puff and I'm just going to press in the already existing powder onto my face before going in with more if I need it. I'm going to take it under my eye. So this is my right side of the face, which is completely powdered. And then the left side of my face doesn't have any powder. And you can really see, especially on my forehead, where it's powdered and where it's not. It's just a little bit more mattified, but I actually really appreciate the fact that it still looks pretty hydrated, like right on the cheekbones. It doesn't look super greasy. I like setting my entire face with powder to begin with. And then throughout the day, I find that my oils can come through a little bit. And with a really good powder, it's just a tiny bit in my T-zone to where it looks really natural. And I'm not seeing the powder emphasizing any of my pores or fine lines, and it doesn't look cakey anywhere, so that's really good. But on this side of my face, I actually want to go in with just the powder puff and see if it makes a difference on the skin. And I'm going to apply this right there all over the face. And you can see it just go right into the skin. Ooh, I actually really like the way that applied with the powder puff. I almost feel like it looks even more airbrushed with this. So I would recommend to just go in with the powder puff. And it still looks really nice and hydrated, and it doesn't look like it's emphasizing anything. I'm actually gonna go over this side too, so it's even. So here's the face completely powdered. I really like that. I feel like my skin looks really nice and airbrushed now. Now we're gonna go in with this. This is the Eastern Beasts Sculpting Makeup Palette. And in here you do have your contour, blush, 2 highlights, but you can also use all of these shades as eyeshadows as well because they do come in shimmers as well as mattes. So they're fine powders and they're supposed to be non-patchy and non-drying as well. Here are the shades on my fingers. And there is a bit of an arm swatch right there just with the finger like swatches, and then I just dragged it and that's the pigmentation that I got. So that's pretty impressive for me. These do also use peony and calendula extract as well. So it's supposed to give that same hydrating and non-patchy effect that the eyeshadows also have. And it says it's also supposed to help hide your pores. And the carvings on this are actually supposed to represent the Chinese ancient gods of the 4 seasons. I like how cool this is. It's almost like a very cool brown, and those are always the best shades for contour. And just tap it in, and I want to build it up too because I find that with contour, I really have to build it so it looks natural versus going in with a ton of product right away. Ooh, that's really pigmented. Can you see that difference right there? So this side is contoured with that cooler brown shade versus this side that doesn't have anything. I tend to go for very warm shades even when I contour, and I don't mean to. They don't scare me as much, you know? Sometimes I have trouble with contours and like bronzers looking really patchy, but this looks so nice. I feel like I look really defined. Pleasantly surprised by this. And now I'm going to go in with that blush shade right there, and then I'm going to add it probably to my cheekbones and a little towards the front of the face. I don't know if this blush goes with the eye makeup that I did today, but it's still really pretty. I'm gonna put a little bit on my nose because I feel like this shade would be really cute, like on the top of the nose. I think I'm gonna use this shade to just define a little bit more under that contour, and then I'm gonna use this shimmery shade as highlight. And I'm going to take a little bit of this paler shade right here, and then just sculpt out the cheekbone. Oh, you see that? And then same thing here. Oh yeah, I'm really into that. And then I'm taking this shade and I'm just gonna highlight right on top of the cheekbones. Just to like match, you know, how highlighted the eyes are. Gonna add some shadow underneath my eyes just to match it all up. And then to finish it off, I'm gonna be using this amazing lipstick. This is like its own moment, honestly, like beautiful. I love this design. So essentially you just hit this button right here and then out pops the lipstick. And then this lipstick is so beautiful. So you have the Florasis logo right on the tip of it, but then all around it you have the engraving. And this engraving I think is actually so insanely beautiful. The detail that they include in a bullet of lipstick is just incredible. It says it's not just a lipstick, it's an artwork, and it's supposed to be representative of Zhang Cheng's. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly. It says that he used to practice painting on his wife's eyebrows because that was the ultimate form of showing your love and affection for your wife, because your eyebrows back in traditional Chinese culture was very important to them when it came to aesthetics. It says it has a misty matte finish with high color rendering and a smooth feel without dryness. So this also has hibiscus extract as well as other floral extracts in it, so it's supposed to help nourish the lips and also fill in those lip lines. And if you guys know me, you know that I don't like when lipsticks accentuate my lip lines because I like to have everything look really, really smooth. I believe the shade I have is Sweet Apricot. And let's do a little wash of color here. Oh my gosh, so pretty. Oh my gosh, look, it looks like a lip stain. That's pretty. My lips look really soft. It almost looks like it has a powder finish to it. And then I want to do like a full pigmented swatch. So here's that lipstick, full pigmentation. I think it's really pretty. It does look a bit hydrating even though it's a matte formulation. So it doesn't feel like my lips have a really heavy matte lipstick on it. It just feels like a very nourishing lipstick. And I like this color. I actually think that this would suit a lot of skin tones. And typically I would go for something a little bit more brown, but I like that this is in the in-between of a brown and a pink lipstick shade, if that makes sense. I like the way it looked as a stain, but I also like the way it looks here on my lips right now. I don't know if I would pair this eyeshadow look with a color that isn't like a nude, but all in all, the actual quality of this lipstick as well as the shade itself, I think is really beautiful. All right, guys, here is the final makeup look. What do you think? Which product was your favorite? I actually really loved everything that I tried out today in this video, specifically this eyeshadow palette. I'm super excited to continue using because I just barely tapped into like the potential of this eyeshadow palette. I feel like there are so many color combinations and a lot of eyeshadow looks that I can create, and just using these seemingly simple shades and adding them all together already, like, this eyeshadow look is insanely beautiful. I feel like it looks so rich, kind of like brings out the jewel tones in each of the shades. But I think for the holiday season, this is actually so beautiful. I can't wait to continue using these shades, and I'm really excited to try this one out. I'm gonna look up some inspo to see how I can use like the red eyeshadow. Let me know in the comments down below if you have any suggestions on like what color combos I should do. The fact that this powder is one of their best-selling products, that's not surprising to me because honestly, I'm really loving the way that my skin looks airbrushed, but I'm also getting a little bit of like hydration in the skin. It doesn't even really look like I'm wearing powder because you can see a little bit of hydration peeking through every now and again whenever like I'm turning my head, you know? I'm very excited about this palette specifically because of this contour shade. This combination, I feel like it's easy to use these colors and these products together. Let me know which products stood out to you. If there was anything that caught your eye specifically, I'd love to know in the comments down below. If you guys found this video helpful or if you just enjoyed it, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this one. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.